Hour late.
There you are.
Oh, there, and we are.
Yeah, right.
We're live by a half an hour late, more
Yes.
than a half an hour late.
Yes. Exactly.
And now I'm trying to figure out how. Okay, we're having some technical difficulties.
Josh is having technical difficulties.
Josh is having technical difficulties, and the tech is. We're trying a new thing. Okay, we're trying to go live on Instagram as well, and I have us live, but nobody can see us, and I don't know how to change that. It said you could, and it doesn't look like you can.
Well, I guess we'll have to use that. Try it for
Well,
another day.
it said something about it, so this live video is hidden, and who knows what's going on. So we're live on Instagram, but only my dad and I can see the live video. We're live on the other stuff, and everybody can see us. So I just wish it would let us go live to anyone. I don't understand why it's not. So Instagram said it would let us go live to anybody, and it's just not. So who knows what's going on? I'm just trying for one more second to see if I can.
Hey, I'm just happy it's not me with all the
Yes. Annette, do you see us live on Instagram or no? Okay, that says practice. How do you stop it?
I'm back to coffee with Ken. I'm just revisiting that because nothing else is working today.
Yeah,
I'm going to talk about maybe next week. I'll talk about peace. How to have
this is live on.
Yes. Perseverance. Yeah, that would be another good one. I could talk about perseverance.
Yeah. Okay. All right. One last shot here.
Okay, here we go. Live video ended.
Yes. Everybody bear with us for just a second.
What is going on?
And I'm going to try this one more time on Instagram to see if we can get it live over here. All right. And by the way, just for the record too, the problem also was because my dad couldn't get his thing working on Instagram. So it wasn't just me. All right. Okay, Dad, did you join on Instagram?
I think so.
Okay. Join on Instagram. Where are you at?
I don't know. I said yes.
Okay, say yes. Yeah, I just went live, but now my dad's not here. There's my dad. Okay. Mute your mic.
All right.
And okay, we're live on Instagram. Okay, good. There we go. So welcome Instagram, welcome Facebook, welcome YouTube. Let's see how this works. So we're just trying something new. All right. And we've got a little bit of a different camera angle over on Instagram because you have to use your phone to go live on Instagram. You can't multi-stream everywhere else. So let's see how this works. Welcome everybody. We're 30, 40, 1241. So for me. And so welcome everybody to the Dream Show, and thank you for letting us wade through our problems. And I'm going to say Instagram lied to me because it said when you go live with a practice room, you can tell it to go live so that everybody can see, but then I couldn't figure out how to do it. So it's either my inability or Instagram's poor communication or a combination of the two. So good to see Berta, Annette, Casey, Rita, Sarah. I can see already we've got a few dreams on there. For anybody that jumps on live on Instagram over here, you can post your dreams. This is the whole deal. You guys know the Dream Show. Those of you that follow us on Facebook and YouTube, the deal with the Dream Show is we go live on the last Friday of every month. And our goal is to help you understand the dreams that you dream, the visions that you have, the strange events that happen to you while you're sleeping. Not necessarily just while you're sleeping, but that's kind of the idea. and to help you come to grips with what the Father may be revealing to you about your life, about your vocation, your call, your place, the kind of questions you're wrestling with, and then ultimately to help you understand how to interpret your own dreams. We just wrapped up a 6-week course on dream interpretation that we were hosting in through the Wind Training Academy, and had a great time with Sarah was on there and a couple of others as well. So I recognize some of the people joining. And we had a great time. And so our heart isn't just to interpret all your dreams, but it's to help you understand how to interpret your dreams. And through the course of that, we'll interpret dreams as well. So you're here with Joshua Hoffert, and my dad is the one next to me with the whiter hair there, and the old man hat that he's wearing.
Yeah.
And it's not really an old man hat, actually, because you've been wearing hats like that ever since I was a little kid. So
it's a cool person hat. That's all.
Okay, let's get it. We should get a poll going, I guess.
We do have a quick question, though, and I think you can answer this.
Yeah. Not able to see anything. Shar, I think, is that...
difficulties on my end or theirs?
Now, Shar also says this. Good on YouTube, so she can see us now.
All right.
Well, I think we're okay.
Technical issues, Shar, we're on.
White hair of wisdom. That's what Sarah thinks of you. So yeah, you could say that.
That's why I wear a hat, so you think I have white hair.
Yeah, that's right. You have no hair underneath that.
It's true.
So this is one of the places where I'm very happy that my hair is taken after my mother's side and not my father's side.
I've been watching it. It's going away.
So it's not going away. Yours was gone by the time you were my age. So don't. Yeah. Someday, Josh, you'll have white hair too. My dad told me one time that he was looking at my beard and went, "Those gray hairs in your beard make me feel old." So there's a couple there, but maybe a couple more after trying to get Instagram to cooperate. So yeah, wonderful to see everybody jumping on. So here the deal is with the dream show. Post your questions, post your dream in the comments, post the things that you're wondering about in the comments, and we'll do everything we can to help you understand. And we spend an hour, maybe we'll see, maybe a little bit longer today because of our lengthy delay. And if you're on Instagram, post your dream in the comments on Instagram and let us know kind of questions you have and that kind of stuff. So we'd love to see you there. Yes.
Shall we get going?
Yeah, we shall get going. That's right.
All right, here we go.
Yeah.
So we have Sarah. I have a fun dream. You make Ken read his name, and no one and I had a clue about it in the group.
So is that the whole dream, Sarah? That's I made my dad read his name in the dream. I made my dad read his name. I like that dream.
I'm seeing that there's no audio in the Instagram.
Oh yeah, there wouldn't be. Okay, you got to unmute your mic on Instagram.
Really?
So yeah, and we'll see how that works. So.
All right. Oh, I can hear it.
Yeah, you can turn your volume down on Instagram.
Yeah, I tried.
So we'll see. If there's a feedback loop, we'll just stop it. We're the never-ending problem with our and I can fix it by going like this. So
yeah, that works.
Yeah. Okay, so we've got Sarah. It's at the top, and I just posted it again. Okay, so Sarah. So it's a longer dream than just that. It's not just that, Dad. Sarah has her thing up at the top.
Oh, all right. I'm just going to ignore this because
It's going to distract you. Yeah.
All right. So I'm going to pretend that I'm not hearing feedback.
Okay.
We'll see how well I do with that. Okay. So she has it up higher.
Yeah, she has it up higher. Yep.
Oh, yeah. I pulled hers down. Okay. All right. Well, let's start with. This may happen more than once. Just
that's all right.
All right.
That's my dad's phone just fell over on the Instagram feed. So, hey, everybody on Instagram, we know we have some audio now. So great to see everybody. Post your dreams in the comments, and we'll do our best to interpret over there as well. Go ahead, Dad.
All right. Let's start with some short ones so we can get to it here. All right.
All right.
You ready?
We're ready.
Berta, I had a dream. The puzzle. I was doing a puzzle, but none of the pieces would fit together at first. By the end, everything went together perfectly.
Oh, that's a great dream.
I'm just wondering on this dream, and it doesn't make any difference one way or another, probably, but what was the picture of the puzzle?
Yeah, that would be my question. Well, actually, two questions I'd have. What was the picture? Do you remember the picture of the puzzle?
Was it important in the dream?
And are you a puzzle person?
She is a puzzle person. I know that.
Okay. All right.
She did what, 5 puzzles at Christmas or something like that?
Okay. Right. Yeah. So did you know, I mean, you're right. It's not, if there is a picture,
it could mean something.
Then it can mean something for sure.
You're putting something specific together.
Yeah. But a garden. Okay. 15 at Christmas.
I was off by about 10.
Yeah, that's wow. So a garden, that's really interesting. And Karen, waiting on timing will be helpful until things come together. Yeah. That's a really good take on that. Karen, is a puzzle, something that's puzzled you.
Mm-hmm.
Questions, like there's a word play there, right? That there's things that puzzle us where we don't quite know how everything fits together. And in the dream, that's what happens, right? The thing that is puzzling you doesn't seem to fit together, but as you spend time with it, everything starts to come together perfectly. So, and that's essentially the meaning of the dream. And part of that is, a garden can represent, there's lots of things that a garden can represent. For one, well, Berta, are you a gardener? So, because that kind of can go into that. But I mean, the place that we see the meaning of a garden in Scripture is the Garden of Eden, which is this place of creation, this place of she is a gardener in real life. Yeah. So in the Garden of Eden, we have the place of vocation and assignment, right? Adam and Eve learn what they're to do. And then we have this place of walking in intimacy or walking in relationship with the Father. And so how does all this stuff fit together? How does my vocation, how does my call, how does my mission, how do I fit within the redemptive, restorative plan of God? And so it's taken time to piece it together, but the dream saying you're starting to at the end of the dream, it's all fitting together perfectly. So there was a season where you questioned all those things, and the dream showing you that everything's starting to come together. So yeah, anything to add to that, Dad?
No, I think that's good. I like it. Are you ready for another?
Yeah.
Let's see what Char's got to say. This is from her dream journal on 8/2023, so just recently. A pregnant great white shark was having her baby. I helped deliver it by reaching in and pulling the baby out carefully, as you would need to with a great white shark. I was successful, but of course, it was dangerous. The mom and baby were fine and swam away. This was my second successful shark delivery. No fear in the dream, just very cautious.
That's a really interesting one. So in Shar, the question I have, and we have a dream posted over on Instagram we'll get to in a second too. So Ridiculous Thrifter, which is a friend of mine out in Newfoundland. Just give us a couple minutes and we'll get to that. Shar, the second successful shark delivery, did you just know in the dream you'd done it before, or have you had other dreams of that nature, or was there a previous scene where you had done the same? So those don't
so was that a continuation of a dream?
Yeah, what
you knew this was the second. Yeah, okay.
So Shar says, I just remembered knowing it, right?
Okay.
Yeah, and so a shark having a baby. It's the shark, the great white shark is a metaphor, right? A great white shark is something that is, well, the kind of the classic representation in the movie Jaws, something that is an animal that lurks below the surface, is vicious. If it sees you, it tries to kill you. It wants to eat you, blah, 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 right? This is what we think about with a great white shark. So great white shark having a baby and Shar is helping. The great white shark is going to represent people that Shar has helped, where Shar has found herself. So the dream tells tells Shar the kind of thing that God trusts you with and tasks you with, is to help difficult people find a place of new life and also discover their calling and gifting. And so the great white shark being the difficult person. It's a dangerous situation. I don't know if they're going to hurt me, but I know that I need to help them. And so, Shar, you've got this. There's a call in your life to come in specific situations and specific seasons and help people discover their gift, their call, their vocation, who they are. It's not permanent, right? Because at the end, the baby and the mama shark fly away. But you have a characteristic on your life that you've done it before. It's something that you've done consistently, because you go, I remember doing this before. So you have experience that helps you and informs you in the moments when you do. So yeah, call in your life to help difficult people bring into their life new things, and probably to discover the call of God on their life, the gift of God on their life. And we don't, and the interesting thing about the shark swimming away too is you don't know what happens with the shark, right? It could continue to be a shark for the rest of its life, or maybe it transforms. You don't know. Your role is to help difficult people bring into their life calling of God, gift of God, vocation, that kind of stuff. And yeah, anything to add, Pops?
Well, so you got there because at the end line there, she says, no fear in the dream, just very cautious, right?
Yeah, exactly.
You got there rather than saying this was a problematic thing. The big clue was there's no fear in this dream.
Yeah, exactly.
And normally, if you're dealing with a great white shark, you would expect a level of fear in that dream because of the danger that you find yourself in. The great white shark.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
But here you can come to it and say, okay, what does it really represent? Because there's no fear here.
Exactly.
What represent. So that's a good way of getting to that.
Totally.
For people who first thing you would think of as a shark is problem. Not just problem people, but problem and so a bad dream.
Yeah, that's right.
And but I like how you got to that you didn't. You were able to get past the bad dream thoughts and say, okay, so how is this actually?
Shar's cool and calm and collected in the dream. From what what we're looking at in this, she's cautious, but she knows her mission and she knows what she's supposed to do, right? So that tells us that's the language of vocation. So Shar discovering her vocation because she knows exactly what to do, and it's highly skilled, a very technical thing to be able to do. So she's been equipped and trained to do these things. And she's done it before, so there's life experience. So there's lots of little clues in there that give us a lot of insight into Shar's life. Yeah.
So Lola, your question, if you've got a dream, go ahead and drop it in. We'll see if we can get to it. We started late, so we're going to go a little bit later today than normal. And if it's not a really long dream, we may be able to get to it. So go ahead, give it a shot. Oh, there you go.
There it is. Okay, let's do this one on the Instagrams. You and I'll read it to you, and you can go for it. This is Ridiculous Thrifter. Like I said, he's a friend of mine in Newfoundland, named Sean. And it's a simple dream, Dad. So not a long one. It's a recurring dream. So I have a reoccurring dream where I'm back in high school, and everyone and everything seems normal, but I'm always frustrated and confused. I can't understand what the teachers are teaching. I feel pressure about assignments and tests. I can't find my locker, and when I finally do, I can't remember the combination. And then also that he's late and he can't find his classrooms as well. So he can't understand what the teachers are teaching. Worried about assignments because he can't understand what the teachers are teaching and tests. Can't remember the combination to his locker room, and also can't find the correct classrooms in high school.
In general, a feeling of inadequacy or inability to rise to the task.
Yeah. And it feels normal. I should be able to figure this out, but I can't.
Right. Yeah. So and here it is, a time of learning, because you're in high school, where you should be learning things, but instead you're getting the dreamer here is not. It feels like he's not competent or prepared. Probably is a better way to say that. He's not prepared to do the learning. Nothing seems to be going right. So you're in the right location. You're in the right situation for learning, but things don't seem to be clicking. And this is kind of one of those self-realization dreams. Like, here I am. I thought I would be learning a lot. I thought I would be really a lot further along than I am right now. But instead, I'm struggling with the very things I thought I could easily accomplish. High school, I could get through it.
Right. Not elementary, right?
No,
but it's
So it's a good dream in this sense, that some of the frustration that you probably feel at times, and you're wondering where is it coming from, it's that the things you're trying to learn don't seem to be clicking yet. And the good part of that, so there's no other part in the dream that says, what do you do about this? But the good part of a dream like that is you say, you go back to the source and say, is there something I need to change?
Right.
What shift needs to happen so that I'm no longer feeling locked out of the things I'm trying to learn, but the things that I need to step into come straightforward. So, there are themes throughout history, especially biblical themes, of testing. Always testing. Now, in this dream, there's no tests, except that there's one big test. Can I learn something? Am I able to learn something? And it's not happening. So, testing is not about failure. It's about learning.
Right.
And most of the time, tests are about help us discover what we have learned, rather than what have I retained in all of the things that I've been looking at.
Yeah.
So when you're in school and you're not able to get anything done, and you're not able to do the things you need to do to learn,
right,
then it's just reevaluating and saying, Lord, where do I go from here? Anything you got on that?
Well, yeah. So that feeling of being confused and not quite knowing how I fit in and what I'm supposed to do, right? That's kind of the characterized in the dream.
Right.
And so Sean, and you have the reoccurring dream typically when you're feeling those kind of things. So, and one of the interpretations, Karen Galley said, the place you're currently in is a season of frustration, feeling you don't have enough information or can't make progress in your current place. Yeah, that's a really good way of saying that. So that's the thing, is when you have the dream, because it's reoccurring, when you have the dream, that kind of that kind of pressure in your life is happening. And so that's why you have the dream. You have the dream to give you insight into why I feel so lost, confused, like I can't find my way. Why do I feel this way presently? So it's a reoccurring dream. So when you're going through a situation that makes you feel that way, you have the dream. So the dream can give you insight. Actually, there's deeper lessons that you're supposed to be learning now, life lessons you're supposed to be learning right now. And the difficulty is I can't figure out how to apply the lessons. I can't figure out how to understand the lessons. I can't figure out how to get the equipment I need.
Get access to it.
I can't get access to it.
Can't open the locker.
Yeah, exactly. So why do I feel confused and lost and frustrated? Oh, because the things that God's trying to teach me, I'm not quite understanding right now. So what's the response to something like that? Well, one is perseverance, right? Is like, I'm just going to stick with it. I'm going to continue to seek the Father. I'm going to ask him for insight and guidance. Then two is to go to others for help, right? So perseverance, continue to seek the Father for guidance. Two, ask others for help. People that are wiser than you, that have been further along on the journey than you. Hey, I'm really wrestling with this. Can you give me some insight? Can you give me some guidance? Can you give me some help? And then three, just also self-evaluation. Is there anything I need to let go of? Is there old mentalities I'm holding on to? Things like that. And so some just honest reflection, continuing to persevere and asking others for help. So why do I feel this way? Okay, I feel this way because there's lessons that I don't quite understand. So I need someone else to help me. And I need to continue to seek the Father. So, because he'll help. He promises that he'll help if we continue to seek him. So they're really good dreams because they're very diagnostic. Then they can be very helpful in that sense. Why do I feel this way? Oh, okay. The dream is helping me see that.
Right. And that's what those dreams will do.
Yeah. Yeah. They just dial in on the essentially, why do I feel so overwhelmed right now in life? Oh, well, the dream's giving me insight as to why. I'm having a hard time processing what I'm to learn and how I'm to apply what I'm learning. Yeah.
So Renee had a vision. So interpreting or understanding the nature of the metaphors in a vision is a little bit different than a dream, but not that much different.
Right.
So in this vision, so I'm assuming you were awake, Renee. So I'll ask that question before we even get started. That when you're saying it's a vision, is this a vision you had while you were awake, or is this something that you had while you were asleep? Because visions can happen both ways. I was in a dry field, but it was filled with beautiful and vibrant flowers. But I knew the soil was bone dry. Suddenly, water started to pool around my feet and flood into the valley. Then I saw Jesus and he handed me a sack. I opened the sack and inside I saw gold coins and furniture stacked on top of each other.
So is that, Renee, is that the whole dream? Or she said she was asleep. And she's right that we would classify something like that as a vision, where Jesus is there, you're feeling his presence, all that stuff. There's a weight of his anointing, right? A weight of his presence, a weight of the glory of God there. Yeah, for sure. So was there more to it? Is the ... and it continued on? Yeah, that's my only question with that one. I mean, it's a beautiful dream. Yeah, that was it. Okay. Beautiful dream. So the dream is that these are the kind of things where we look at, how do I figure out, that's just me being dramatic. Yeah, very good, Renee. You're good at that, Renee, being dramatic. Just kidding, I tease. So a dream like this is this dream about Renee? Is it about the field? Is it about what the field represents? Right? What's the dream about? Well, how do we figure that out? Well, Renee is the central figure, although Jesus does show up, so we like to make him the central figure. But
he kind of takes over when he shows up.
Yeah, he does. But the dream's about Renee. Everything happens. She's the focus of the dream. Everything happens to her. It's her dream.
Right.
And so what does a dream like that mean? Because she's standing in the field and the field is dry, but all of a sudden water starts to flood the valley. So
Yeah.
the question is, with something like that, what is the field? Like, does the field and the valley represent, call to missions, ministry? Does it
Sure.
represent, what does it represent, right?
Right.
So because Renee is the only figure in this dream outside of Jesus, then the dream is about Renee,
Right.
and the valley and the field represent Renee's life because she's in the field, right? She's in a dry field. So that being in a dry field would talk about being in a dry time, a dry season. And there's been lots of growth, right? There's beautiful and vibrant flowers, but under the surface, I'm feeling very dry, very depleted, very exhausted, right? Interestingly, we get some added insight is that she is in a valley,
Right.
right? So, oh, you're in a valley. Okay, well, a valley is a low season. So there's been some great growth, and you can see intimacy with God, the vibrancy of His presence. That's the flowers, but under the surface, it's been a bit difficult. It's been a dry season. So, what happens in the dream, of course, is that water starts to pool around. Pay attention to the suddenly. This is
Yeah.
not something that Renee expected, but all of a sudden everything starts changing because water comes and floods the valley, meaning the ground's not dry anymore. So,
Right.
so there is you've been in a dry season, you've been in a low season, but the Lord's showing you that He's about to start flooding the place. He's about to start filling your life back up. All the places you've felt that have been depleted, He's starting to fill those things back up. And Jesus has things for you in this season.
Yeah.
He has gold coins, so valuable treasure, and he has do you remember what kind of house furniture she said?
House
Couches.
Right.
Yeah. So there are things that he has that he's giving to you in this season that are valuable treasures and that have impact in the home because it's house furniture. And it's totally unexpected, and it's going to be the fruit of his presence saturating the soil of your life.
So you might say you're going to get favor and comfort.
There you go. That's really good, Dad. Yeah. Favor and comfort is coming. He actually just gave me couches in real life. That's a wonderful dream, Renee.
Yeah, we like that one.
Yeah, that's right. Again, if you're just jumping over on Instagram, you can post your dreams in the comments.
All right, let's get back to an early poster here.
All right. Premla
she's an early poster today.
And Premla's been around for a while. So yeah.
So in this dream, she says, my auntie and I were in the former house she lived in, I'm guessing. And I was trying to sign a document, but the pen would not work. Then my auntie handed over a pen to me, and it worked, and I could sign the document.
Oh, what a great dream.
Yeah.
These are all really fun dreams here.
Yes.
So a okay, so in the house that Premla's aunt lived in, and auntie or auntie, however you're going to say that. Did you say auntie? You're all proper like that?
Yes.
Auntie. That is in Indian culture. Auntie and uncle are a term of respect and endearment. Doesn't necessarily have to mean a family member. So I'm going to guess it's her, but it is very much an affectionate term in the Indian culture. So knowing that Premla is Indian as well.
Yeah.
So there is an affectionate thing there. So they're in the former house that her auntie lived in, and so Premla was trying to sign a document, okay, but the pen wouldn't work. Then her auntie. So there's things that you're trying to do. Well, let's see. it's interesting because well, here's a question, I guess, is do you know what the document was? Yeah, it literally refers to her aunt. Do you know what the document was about? Was it like to buy the house? Was it to sign a contract for some kind of work? What kind of document was it? Any idea what kind of document it was? Because you're trying to do it and you can't, and you need help from other people, and because you're in your aunt's house. There's been a matter pertaining to selling that house.
Okay.
Interesting. That's really interesting. Yeah. Um, so what do you think, Dad? They're currently trying to sell the house.
Okay. And she had, and Premla had, so I'm assuming your aunt is trying to sell the house, or are you trying to sell it, Premla?
Well, she says they, so
Okay, so they're
we're
trying
gonna
to
guess
sell the
her.
house. Okay, so I'm guessing if they lived in it, but now they're trying to sell it. And there's something that she, yeah, okay.
Yes.
Okay, so her aunt lives in it, yeah, or her aunt owns it. Okay. Yeah. So, generally speaking, if you're selling a house, somebody who owns the house is selling the house, they wouldn't need someone else for permission or anything else. But there's something that you need to release that's been hard for you to release in this process. And there's just something you're signing a document essentially to give something away. To you generally are giving away rights, or you're trying to gain rights to something. And in this, I'm assuming it's giving something away, because that's the tenor of the dream.
Right.
And so it's not been easy for you to do, but your aunt's helping you to let go of a season that was probably important to you, but now it's time to move on. And I think that's what this dream is just saying. It's a good time to move on and let everybody move forward in the things that are good for them right now.
Yeah, and let the people around you, which would be your aunt in this particular dream, let the people around you help you discover the way forward. Karen, is there something that isn't working but will eventually figure it out to make it work? Well, and in a sense, yes, there's something that hasn't been working for Premla, because the dream's about Premla,
Right.
Because she's the one trying to sign the document.
Right.
So there's something that hasn't been working, but outside help will help it work. And when you're signing your signing a document would be, like my dad said, giving rights away, giving something away, putting your name to something, and
Right.
you need help to be able to do that. And it's interesting, it's family, right? So could talk about heritage, it could talk about her children are giving her problems concerning the sale of the house.
Okay.
Yeah, well, and here's the thing, you can't fix it.
No.
In the dream, you literally can't fix it. Your pen doesn't work. You can't be the person signing it by yourself. You can't fix it by yourself. That's it. It requires your aunt saying, here, use my pen, right? So partnership. So it's not something you can do. It's something that has to be done together. And so there's things you would try to do in your own strength. You can't do in your own strength. You need the help of other family members to be able to accomplish. And it may have to do with the former house, or the sale of this house, because it's just interesting timing. Did you have this dream recently, Premla? Is this a recent dream, or is it an old dream? I'm gonna guess it's a recent dream. So yeah, if it's a recent dream, then it's probably speaking directly to this situation. Yeah, just a few days ago. Yeah, probably speaking directly to the situation then, because it's something that's been on your. It's like in the beginning of Matthew, when Mary is pregnant and Joseph is trying to figure out what to do. It says while he thought about these things, he had a dream, and an angel shows up to him. The matter is current. So So yeah, you're trying to figure out, is there, what am I supposed to do here? How am I supposed to be involved with this? And it's like, only do what your aunt allows you to do, basically, or gives you responsibility to do. That's essentially the meaning of the dream. You can't take matters into your own hands. Your pen, your signature, it doesn't work. It requires the input of your family. So yeah. So Jim asks a you can find another dream there, Dad. But so Premla, we just bless you and your family as you're trying to figure out and navigate difficult family circumstances, that you would have wisdom on how to navigate these things, and that the Father would visit you and speak to you. Okay, Jim, this is just a quick question. Did Jesus have prophetic dreams like Joseph, or did his relationship with the Father make such dreams unnecessary? My knee-jerk response, I've thought about that one, is we don't know. There's nothing that indicates he didn't, and there's nothing that indicates he did. So I just don't know that we can actually say yes or no that he did or didn't. Now, I think you could surmise, because we know Jesus was fully human. Everything that it meant to be a human, he became that in the incarnation. So I would guess that he would have had dreams, because humans have dreams, and you've never had a human that doesn't have a dream. So I would guess he had dreams, but he never shares any of them. Is it possible, maybe I've speculated before, thinking that maybe some of the parables that he shares came to him in dream form, visionary form. Is that the case? Did he have was his dream life like supercharged, because as a human he was also divine and he's fully God? So I don't know. It's an interesting thing to think about. And I don't know. So it's possible. I would imagine that when he was sleeping, that the Father was still speaking to him, being perfectly united. So anyway, those are my thoughts, Jim. I think at best you could say I don't know, but it's open to speculation. So he did prophesy, right? There's a few different prophetic words of prophecy.
Prophesied about Jerusalem. Yes.
Hey, definitely. Yeah, definitely. He was called a prophet by many people. So it says he speaks to prophets in dreams and visions in Joel 2. So I would guess that he did, but again, it's all speculation, because there's no record of him having dreamt. But he did sleep. We definitely know that. So anyway, I like speculating about that stuff.
Well, what's really funny is that there'll be those who not just speculate about it, but make absolute statements. Definitely, Jesus did. When you don't know anything.
Yeah, you couldn't say for sure. It's impossible to say for sure.
So Lisa, you're going to have to help us with this one a little bit. So get ready to answer some questions.
She has a follow-up post also.
That,
yeah.
So this is not her dream, but her 11-year-old's dream. So we'll allow this, Lisa, because it is your son's dream, or I'm guessing it's your son. Oh yeah, son, it says right there. So he's coming home from school, but he was walking in waist-deep water next to the bus. He's carrying his broken Xbox. Now, for an 11-year-old, that's just got to be horrible.
Absolutely traumatic.
Yes. Tried to fix, but couldn't. He woke up in the dream in his parents' bed and went back to sleep. So he's got a dream within a dream, she says. Then he started dreaming again and said to himself, "Oh, it's a dream," and really woke up.
So did he have the same dream again? Like he's walking back in the waist deep water. He's walking by the school bus. He's got a broken Xbox.
Oh, you're asking, did the dream repeat itself again as he went back to sleep, as he went back into the dream? So it's like the dream that that just kind of went in another cycle. Okay, yeah, that's an interesting question.
Yeah, what's the woke up in a dream in parents' bed and went back to sleep, then started dreaming again. Yeah, so that's what I'm trying to clarify there is so he woke up in the dream, he thought he was awake in his parents'
So it
bed.
didn't. She says no, it didn't repeat.
So then started okay, so in the dream, he's coming home. I'm trying let me just say yes if this is correct, Lisa. In the dream, he's coming home from school. He's got the broken Xbox, all that kind of stuff. And then ostensibly he's going to bring it home and you're going to help him fix it. And then as all that is happening, he wakes up in the dream. He wakes up into another dream, which I've had that happen, so I understand that. And he's in his parents' bed, and in his parents' bed, he goes back to sleep. And then when he goes back to sleep in his parents' bed, he realizes so he doesn't go back into a dream. He just realizes, oh, I'm dreaming right now. And then he actually wakes up. At least he thinks he woke up. Maybe we're all just part of his dream now. So
a couple of things to note, by the way, Lisa, is that it's okay. So she says yes. That's good. All right.
Yeah.
This is a child's dream. He's 11 years old, but he's still a child, and so dreaming, although the brain by your time you're 11 years old is beginning to be able to do some nuancing, it's still going to be pretty straightforward, pretty black and white. So this is so we don't want to overcomplicate dreams of a child.
Absolutely.
So what in an 11-year-old's life? So he's walking next to the water, waist deep. I mean, what next to the bus from school bus, waist deep in water. So something's overwhelming him.
Yep.
And it has to do with school.
Yep.
Because we got a school bus, and it has to do. So if a child's Xbox is broken, that's usually means that kind of that release outlet place, that thing that you can do.
The thing you do for fun, right?
Yeah, it's not there. It's broken.
Yeah.
Something's not working. So I'm overwhelmed. Something at school is overwhelming me. I don't even have a way of working it out and releasing it. But I do know one thing, and this is what this dream says. My parents are there for me.
Yeah, that's right.
And that's what's so beautiful about this dream. Things aren't working out for me right now, but my parents are there for me.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. And I love what Karen says, but he knows to go to mom and dad.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. That's the beauty of the dream is I'm overwhelmed. Situations at school are impacting me, and it's no fun.
Yeah.
Right. I don't know how to process this. But he wakes up. I love that he wakes up in his parents' bed, perfect, like ostensibly it seems, so rested or so safe and protected that he can just go right back to sleep.
Right. Yeah. He's not waking up in his parents' bed saying, "Oh, what am I doing here?"
Yeah. Yeah. He's not freaking out or anything like that. Yeah. He's going, oh, I'm in my parents' bed. I'm going to go back to sleep. And in the dream, she's trying to help him fix it.
Right.
Right. So, in that, right, like you're feeling overwhelmed, and you're having a hard, and it's impacting your ability to find joy in life.
Yeah.
But we're working on this, and in a way, it's a dream for your son, Lisa, but it's also a dream for you, right? Because he's your child. Yeah. To go, okay, so it's okay to get your hands dirty in helping your son, right? He needs help piecing things back together, which would be fixing his. So here, one of the things that a parent's responsibility in a broad nutshell statement is to help children return to joy.
Yeah.
And his ability to return to joy, his Xbox, is broken. And so Lisa is trying to help him fix that. How do I help him come back to the safe security of who he is? So that's great. Get your hands dirty, walk with him, talk with him, help him navigate some of the things that are overwhelming him in life. It's probably the fact that it's water probably talks about his emotional turmoil when you're overwhelmed. The water talks about the anxiety of the people in Revelation 16, I think. The tumult. This is the tumult of the multitude, right? The anxiety of the people, and so he's probably really wrestling with some big, hard emotions,
For him.
and he doesn't. For him, and he doesn't know how to. He doesn't know how to recover himself. And Karen, that's beautiful analogy. Teach him to swim. Teach him to swim when the water is deep.
And just as a point of clarification, when Josh says return to joy, a great definition of joy comes out of Life Model Guys, is that joy is being in the presence of someone who loves and wants to be with you.
Yeah.
So if you're sensing that you're having difficulty, in other words, maybe bullying or rejecting or whatever is happening, we don't know. We just say that there's something is making him feel less than wanted, less than connected. But where does he feel connected? Where does he return to joy? He's in the presence of the people who want to be with him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She says, love this so much. We are deciding to homeschool this year.
Yeah.
We're actually, Lisa, we're in the same boat with our oldest. We're going to homeschool our 10-year-old. The other two are going to the public school as they've been going, but it's that dream kind of accurately sums up some of the reasons why we would be homeschooling our 10-year-old too. She's had a hard time with school. Anyway, so yeah. And that's, if the dream is current, then there's schooling things that seem overwhelming to him. So right. I was homeschooled for about a quarter of the time. Okay, everybody, just for the record, this will perfectly explain something to you. Okay, it was my mom did the bulk of the homeschooling in 3rd, 4th, and 5th grade. Okay, and then my parents homeschooled together in 7th grade. Okay, this is what my dad taught in 7th grade when he homeschooled us. Everybody ready for this? All right. My mom taught us the English and the math and all that kind of stuff. My dad, the two topics he chose to teach us in 7th grade were Latin and ancient world history.
You're lucky I didn't teach you Greek too.
Do I have? I think I have the textbook actually. Where is it? The Ancient Civilizations book. I have it somewhere. No, I don't think it's on the bookshelf, but I still have the Ancient Civilizations book that you used as our textbook. So I learned Latin, and I learned. So yeah, Renee says, so not surprised. I learned Latin and classic history. Yes. So yeah, I think it was pretty cool. I like that you did that. So yeah, that was part of the 7th grade curriculum, Latin and not contemporary world history, but ancient world history. So we learned a lot about Greek and Rome. Yeah. Or Greece and Rome. Greece and Rome. Yeah. Yeah. And look at you now, Josh Hoffert. Yeah, that's right. That's right. So.
All right. We're going to do, give me a second here. There we go.
Yeah. My dad's degree is in classical languages. So he used to speak, I don't think you do it as much because you're out of practice, but you spoke Greek and Latin fluently back then.
Well, I was
relatively
fluently, but I was more versed in it than I am at the moment.
I used
to getting back.
Okay, but I worked at a computer store, and my boss spoke Latin, and so when he found out my dad spoke Latin, and my dad would call to talk to me for some reason or another, which wasn't often, but I think there was one point you bought a computer from him or had us do some computer work. He would answer, and when he realized you spoke Latin, he would come on and try and speak Latin with you. And I think he was probably a little more practiced than you were at that point, but you guys had conversations in Latin, so
short ones, but yes,
short ones, but you did. Yes,
Yeah.
that's the family I grew up in. So, yeah.
All right, Casey had this dream. It's a kind of an interesting dream, Josh.
Okay. All right.
Let's see what you do with this one.
All right.
So she's entitled it Salon Dream. And she starts out with, the dream started out in the city I currently live. Everyone was preparing for weather that was coming that could be devastating. Were you in Southern California? They just had that issue. Or you could be in Florida almost any time of the year.
That's true. Yeah.
We knew it would be flooding. But as I looked at the radar, I saw that the weather was at least a state to our east. I was concerned as to why everyone was so scared and preparing for destruction. The dream changed scenes, so it's always good. We've got a scene change here.
Yep.
The dream changed scenes to after the storm. I was an insurance assessor, and was at the location where terrible destruction had happened. I was inside a salon. I was empty. It was empty, and you could tell the owner had done their best to clean it up, but you could see the damage, the water line on the walls, etc. Then my insurance coworker ran up to me saying that he was able to see on a meter that the water level in the building should be much higher than it is. He was very worried. We didn't know where the water was, but knew it was there. I looked to the left into a huge room. The building started shaking, and water came crashing out of the ceiling. I woke up in shock and worry. As the dream was ending, I didn't know how I was going to get out of the building before it filled up with water.
And that's the dream.
That's the dream.
Okay, Casey, is Casey still on? That's because there's questions about this one. You're right. It's a really interesting dream, but if Casey's not on, we won't be able to interpret it because there's a couple questions about the water. Okay, great. Casey's here. Yeah. So the first scene makes total sense, right? That's like, yeah. So the water line on the walls, you could see the damage, so you could see where the water had come to. So was the issue the water level in the building should be much higher than it is on the meter. So
something is not adding up.
Yeah. So, but was the water that the meter was talking about water from the storm or the natural water supply that should have, did you know, like, were you like, there should be more water in the building, as in the flooding from the building? You should have been able to see on the meter that there was more water and you couldn't see it, so it was hidden somewhere else. Is that kind of what you're saying there in the dream? Is that all of a sudden you realize that the water from the storm had been stored in other places and it came crashing out? Or was it water lines in the wall that were broken because of damage? Because it does make a difference. Exactly. So I love when people answer that way. So Casey, I'm assuming your yes exactly is water from the storm. You should have been able to see it, and your coworker was like, this isn't adding up. There should be more damage here. Where'd the water go? And then all of a sudden it crashes in. And that's what I'm assuming that's what you mean by yes, exactly. Yeah. So anyway, so it's actually a relatively simple dream.
Yeah.
As kind of, if you were to just break it down to its basic elements, there was hidden water, and a coworker was worried because the meter was reading high, but we couldn't see it. So you could tell something was wrong. Oh, that's fine, Casey. But so you could tell something's not adding up. We could see there's, as insurance adjusters, we're trying to figure out.
There's been some cleanup. They did what they could, but there's something behind this thing that we're not seeing.
Yeah, good. So so essentially with a dream like this, we've got two scenes. Maybe you could even kind of say that when she almost a third when she looks to the left, then I looked and this happened, right? That's almost a third scene there. but it's still all connected, right? So you've got the first scene kind of sets the stage, and the other two scenes say something about what happens. So in the first scene, your one of the things that we did, the tendency with dreams like this, by the way, is to make them bigger than they are. Right, like make them apocalyptic, and it's not apocalyptic. It's, some stuff is going down. You can see the signs, is what that first scene is.
Yeah. Let me ask one other question, Josh.
Oh, go ahead. Yeah.
And that's so if, as you look at this dream, it started out in the city she currently lives, but the damage was supposed to be in a state, to the one state over to their east. Was the damage in that other state that she was looking at, or was it in your city? So did the storm actually impact where you live?
Oh yeah.
Or
yeah,
was it somewhere else?
Yeah. Did the storm eventually come to
did it impact
your state and your city?
Right.
Yeah.
Because
that is the question, is which community did it impact?
Right.
Because that's the metaphor of the city is, there was nothing in my city, only other state. Okay, so you went to the other state and were, as an insurance adjuster, and were helping people in that state that had been impacted by the storm. Okay, great question, Dad. Right, which just, because in your community you can. This is interesting.
Yeah,
you've seen things happen. A big weather event, going to be flooding, all that kind of stuff, right? You've seen things happen that have impacted other communities. They haven't so much touched your community, but they've impacted other communities. You've seen big events that have impacted other communities. And so that's essentially the first scene. Right. Is there's a storm coming. There's things that are coming down the pipeline that are going to impact other communities, churches, organizations, people groups, that kind of stuff. In the second scene, you have a role to play in some of the cleanup and some of
right.
Yeah. So as an insurance adjuster, assessor, you're looking at what happened and then trying to help people connect with resources to recover, basically. Right. So this talks about, this dream is another one of those vocation dreams. This says you have the ability to see the things that are happening around. That's dream one. Not be impacted by fear, but trust that the Father's going to protect you. And then in scene two here, into the third one is you have a vocational calling in the kingdom to help people not so much clean up the mess, because that's already happened, but connect people with resources to help them continue recovering. Because the insurance adjuster is going to go, what's wrong and how do we get the owner money? A salon is a place that prepares people. So that's what you cut the hair to prepare them for
an event
or looking good, or just for life, right? Like I need to look good for my job, for an interview, for a date or whatever, right? So a salon is a place that prepares people. So in the dream, you're at a salon, you're helping a place that prepares people recover from the things that have happened to it. And so it's almost like you're on mission from, well, my life hasn't been impacted, but I can help other people, right? And you're recognizing in this vocational calling to help others that help people, that some of the stuff that I'm looking at and some of the problems that I'm trying to accurately diagnose, there's something more going on here, that the things aren't adding up, like you said, Dad, right? There's something more happening here. There's more to that. There's more to the damage than meets the eye.
Right.
Looks like there's been some cleanup. Maybe it's not as bad, but something's not adding up. And then we get to the last scene. So first scene, right? Place of place of faith, your own community is not impacted, but you can see the stuff that's happened to other communities. Second scene, vocational calling to help other people get connected to resources to recover from the storms that hit them, the things that impact them, especially places that are focused on equipping others and training others and preparing others. But in your discerning process, you'll be able to see there's more than this. There's more to this problem than meets the eye. It looked like one thing, but I think it might be another. And the last scene where you look to the left and the building starts shaking, water comes crashing out of the ceiling. You wake up concerned that you're not going to be able to get out of the building before it's filled up with water, right? That's kind of the. But Casey, pay attention as you step into this call where you're helping other people recover from difficult situations, that you don't get too involved, because your responsibility isn't to fix everything. Your responsibility is to get them connected with resources. As I'm going to school to be a therapist. Well, there you go. Right. Yeah. Your responsibility is to not fix everything. Your responsibility is to get them connected with resources to help the fixing thing happen. And so you've got to be able to withdraw yourself when necessary. Diagnose a problem, withdraw yourself from necessary. Don't get overcommitted in that sense, right? Like, well, we're in this building now. We could see that there's a problem. The first thing we should do when we see there's a big problem as an insurance adjuster is say, we need to get people out of this building now. So yeah. So I like Karen's statement. Karen knows a word that we don't. Decrement is key. Decrement is key. So Karen, we're going to forever give you that quote. Decrement is key. I think I would postulate a guess that Karen meant discernment is key.
Well, and as when you get into that last scene, so as you're moving along, scene 1 to scene 2. Scene 1, she's as you said, scene 1. There's not a lot of people are worried about their community, but the reality is it's not going to, the damage is not coming here. Scene 2, here is where the damage happened. And this is the difficulty. Scene 3 is other people's stuff that hasn't been taken care of yet could overwhelm you if you're not paying attention to it.
Yeah, that's good. That's really good, Dad. Yeah. Other people's stuff could overwhelm me, especially now knowing I'm going to school to be a therapist. The Lord's the one who called me back to go to school, to go into that work. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Very good, Dad. So Casey, we just bless you as you journey into responding to the call of God on your life, and that discernment would increase, and it will naturally. It'll increase as you follow Him, and so there's no worry about that. The Lord's already speaking to you about how to walk that out. There's a real quick one over on Instagram, Dad. I'm gonna read to you and get your thought about. Okay. This one is from the Instagram account. This girl is on a mission.
Okay.
And she says, what's going on in a dream when lights in a room are dim, or you try to replace them and you are not able to?
Oh,
interesting.
Yeah. So just the generalized, what is the impact of low light that is inadequate for the task?
Yeah.
I need more light, but it's not, I can't get more light.
Right.
So first you have to ask the question, as far as the metaphor goes, what is light in as far as any dream, or just as we understand it in life? Light is what provides us the ability to see things clearly. It opens up things that couldn't be seen before. It takes darkness out of the equation and allows us to have a perspective that we couldn't have if we can't see. So if our ability to see, because light is limited, if our ability to see is hindered, we can't see everything we need to see in a situation that is critical for us to make choices in. So if you can't fix the light, you need to get more light.
Right.
So if your light level is low, you're not getting enough light, you're not getting enough insight. You need to align yourself with things that are light so that you get more light.
Right.
A light bulb would be something that you screw in that then provides a whole new level of light or insight. So I can't see what I need to see right now because the light's not what it needs to be, and I need to find a way to get more light. The dream doesn't tell you how to get that. It just tells you that it's lacking.
Yeah, when the room is just dim, or I can't change the light bulbs. Yeah, it's just revelation is lacking essentially, right? And I need
exactly. I'm just not seeing it. I'm not getting revelation. I'm not getting insight. I'm not getting the things I need to get. And it's one of those dreams that says, "Aha, this is what I've been struggling with."
Yeah, this is why I'm not quite sure what I'm to do, where I'm to be, who I'm to be. All of those things. Yeah, those kind of dreams is, it's a lack of revelation, it's a lack of clarity, it's a lack of insight. And so the diagnosis, the dream, depending on the dream, because we're just giving a little snapshot right there.
Right.
But the diagnosis, this girl is on a mission. The diagnosis is that connect yourself with the Father, who is the Father of lights, right?
If you read, so John 1, who is Jesus? He is the light that came.
The light, right? So connect yourself, make measurable steps in your life to connect yourself with Jesus, with the heart of the Father, and then 2, put yourself around people that can help you connect with Jesus and can give you, their light can illuminate some of the things that you can't see. They can point out things that. So connect yourself with Jesus and
fix the low light problem.
Yeah,
exactly. Then you'll be able to see the things you need to see.
That's right. Yeah.
So a lot of times people say, well, I just need to make a choice. No, fix the low light problem first, and then you'll be able to see what you need to see so you can do the things you need to do.
Right. Yeah. Right. Let's see.
Right. Well, I think we're going to about bring it to an end here, Josh. We've been going for a while, but
I was just looking at Lola's dream, wondering how long that one is. I can't see.
It's a bit longer than it's got some detail to it.
Okay, so let's add it to the roster of dreams, Lola, and we will work on getting to that one next time.
We're not dissing you, Lola. But
no, we're not.
It will take us a little bit of time to work through it.
Yeah, I
read through it already.
That shit. So this girl's on a mission says, "Thank you. This is good. I appreciate your input." I think, am I right in assuming, because I can't see all the stuff there, I think that is Daniel and Lindsay's daughter. I think that she's on a mission in Hawaii or something with YWAM. So anyway, I think that's who that is.
Okay.
So anyway, I hope I'm right. If not, I apologize.
Well, listen, Josh has been trying to get me to go into the dream group that you have and do a live thing. And I promise you I will be doing that very shortly with him, and we'll go through a bunch of dreams over there as well. So if you haven't joined up his dream group, and how do you become a part of the dream group?
You take one of our courses.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
Once you've gone through one of our courses, then one of our courses on dream interpretation, then you're more than welcome to participate in the dream group. It just kind of lays the groundwork for some of the things that we're working on, we're anticipating, all of that. And so with that said, we do have pre-recorded dream classes that you can take on the windtrainingacademy.com. Maybe I'll put the link to the training academy over here. So if it's something, it's something you can go through shouldn't take you too much time to go through the dream courses on the training academy. Again, pre-recorded, and you can go through them. We've done the sessions. We do the sessions live, and so you can still register and take the courses after the fact. So that I put a link there. and then you'll get an invitation to join the our dream interpretation group, which is, we have multiple dreams posted a day.
Oh yeah, people are very active in
That's
there.
very active, and so yeah, so our goal is to do a few lives on there and do some private interpretation with just the group. So you can go through the Dreams You Dream class on the windtrainingacademy.com to join in there.
And then I also wanted to say, watch for an announcement soon. We're going to have our wives sit down and talk
that is
about
a plan.
Yes, talk online live about Heart Sync. They're both Heart Sync ministers, and it's a fascinating approach to knitting the heart back together, so that
That's right.
we become wholehearted.
That's right.
So instead of having our hearts going in different directions, which is far too often the case, we're going to let them sit down and talk about it, because they are spectacular, both of them.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
That's
right. You'll not ever want to hear us again. You'll just want to talk to them.
That's why we haven't had them on yet, because we're afraid of being replaced.
Yeah, exactly.
One last thing. I'm going to put a link to our donation page, and that you can go and consider a donation. We are gearing up for a number of international trips coming up, one to India and one to Singapore, back to back. Actually, the whole family will be going to Singapore, and we'll be doing a number of meetings with ministries and churches and leaders, specifically leaders, about raising godly families. Aaron and I will be doing those together and the kids will be with us. So that we're going to India in September. I'm going to India in September, and we're going to be working with leaders from across India, equipping in intimacy with God, knowing the Father's heart, prophetic ministry, dream interpretation, all this kind of stuff. Actually, we're working with three different networks. In two of the networks are India wide, and one of them is located in one of the states in India. And so we'll be doing training and equipping and things like that. So Premla will be in Goa. If you want some more information, just reach out to me and I can direct you to the people that can give you the information. But so if I mean, all these things, like, we're in an age in the world right now where flights have become very expensive. So if you have a heart for world missions, if you love what we're doing, if you're going, we want to see leaders across the world equipped in this kind of stuff, then, if you would consider a donation to the ministry about these things, it would be awesome. So we'll be sending emails out too, if you're part of our email list, with some information about what we're doing as well. But we've got a whole team going to India, and then the team going to Singapore is our family. And so for the month of September and October, it's going to be a crazy month. And it's with some awesome stuff happening, God's stuff happening for sure. So really looking forward to that. But yeah, if you had a mind to support what we're doing, that would be wonderful. So if you'd consider it in prayer, I'll put the link here in the comments. The link is also in the video description on Facebook and YouTube as well. So we'd appreciate that. But yeah, so there's that.
Yeah. And for those of you who struggled through on Instagram with us, thank you. We will get better at it.
Yes, we're working on it. That's right. That's right. It's it seems like it ultimately worked out once we figured out things. So yeah.
All right. So cool. I think that's about it, Josh.
Okay. Well,
just bless.
Yeah.
Go for it.
So Father, we just bless. We just lift up all of our watchers, listeners, the people that are hungry for more of you, and especially as it relates to dreams, the mysteries, visions, the things that go bump in the night. Father, we just thank you for who you are, that you bring clarity and wisdom and insight in your time, not in our time, but in your time. And so I just bless each person that's participated in this, that'll watch the recording afterwards, that they'd gain and glean a glimpse of your beauty and your passion for each and every one of us. And so I bless them in their sleep. I bless their dreams. I bless their understanding and the wisdom that would come from those things, that they'd seek you more wholeheartedly. Thank you for who you are. And yeah, thanks for being here. Amen.
All right. It's good seeing you all again today.
Okay.
And, or hearing you. Talk to you soon.
Next time.